to save. Then I am going to share the screen. Then I am going to open Gmail to open the slide. So one thing, you must have open an account or you should register on a easy chair. As a researcher, it will help in your life, not only for submitting paper but also reviewing paper. So what do you mean by review paper, Sayan?
So we will be reviewing the paper, sir. We will see whether all the things are right or not, like that.
Okay, this paper is good in
Yeah, sir, like that is so.
presentation format is fine, their idea is novel or not. Then based on so many consideration, you will recommend this paper will
Yes,
be
sir.
acceptable or not. So there is a someone is taking. We all sitting in the lab. This is the great problem. No problem. Enjoy and then come easy chair homepage subset. So there are three roles in conference. One is a reviewer, that is a part of organizer. Okay. Second is a listener. You have attended one CDA conference, in that you are listener. Okay. Sayed, Vanita. And third role is paper presenter. So Sayed, recall, what are the three roles? One, you have finished as a listener in a CDA conference, so you are their listener.
Okay, sir. One is listener. So first role is a listener. You have that Okay, sir.
experience in CDAC. Second role is a reviewer. That is a part of organizer. They will decide which paper will accept or which paper will not accept. Third is a paper presenter. If you are submitting a paper, then it does not guarantee you are going to present your paper in a conference. Yes. So if you submit a paper, that does not guarantee your paper is going to present, because if it will not accept, you are not going to present. Okay, if it will accept, then third role come into picture, that called paper presenter. So three role: listener, reviewer, paper presenter.
Paper.
So see, I, as a part of one conference, I am a chair in that, so I have a power to make anyone as a reviewer. Even I have a power to delete the submission. If someone submitted paper, I can delete that. So I can now see how many papers are submitted in this conference. So here you are saying, okay, there are so many papers. I can delete few more if I want. So I am deleting this three because they have not submitted their full paper. Yes. So now come to, there are 5 papers that has a full paper submitted. So it's so science. When I click here, a paper will download and that will open. Okay. So if I am going to assign to some, for example, this is a Naman word, I want to assign this one paper to review. So here I can put one new request. Then here I can type the new Naman boy, and I am asking Naman, please review this paper. So we'll read that paper and he will. So I am asking the all reviews should by 31st Jan, maybe 30 Jan. I am sending this. So what happened? Naman Bhoj is signed as a reviewer. He got a role of reviewer and he has a power to review this 5 papers. Okay. Similarly, if you wish to review, become a reviewer, then you can send me your email. I can send 1 or 2 papers for review. That will be your learning experience. So now come back to class. So that is your one learning exercise for your futures when you will become a professor, when you will organize some conferences. So here I am going to unit 3, lecture 4. Okay, welcome Johnson. So now we are going back to our syllabus. We are in unit 3 and now this plan pattern changes. It becomes 4 hours and it will 5 hours maybe because this is lecture 4 then you have one lab more. So it becomes 6 hours or it, with a one lab it becomes 7 hours and then it will be 4 plus 1 it will also 5 and then it will slide. So we are in unit 3 and we yesterday we have discussed 3G 4G hotspot. Today we will discuss wireless standards, process of authentication in wireless network. Today we also discussed wireless hacking methodology and we discussed wireless security tools and countermeasures. So this is the outline of today's lectures. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss wireless standards, process of authentication in wireless network, wireless hacking methodologies, wireless security tools and countermeasures. So what do you mean by wireless standards? 802.11 represent the IEEE designation for wireless networking. Several wireless networking specifications exist under the 802.11 banner. The network plus objective focus on 802.11, 802.11a, 802.11b, 802.11g, and 802.11n. All these standards use the Ethernet protocol and CSMA access method. So what is CSMA? Anyone? Sayed, Vanita, Johnson. CSMA is carrier sense multiple access. CA is collision avoidance. 802.11 wireless standard can differ in terms of speed, transmission ranges, and frequency used, but in terms of actual implementation, they are similar. So, what is IEEE 802.11? There are actually two variations on the initial 802.11 wireless standard. Both offered 1 or 2 Mbps transmission speed and the same RF of 2.4 GHz. So the difference between the two was in how data travel through the RF media. So what is RF? RF is a radio frequency because in wireless we use radio waves for transmission. If there is a no wire, so there should be something, so we use radio waves. So one use FHSS and other use DSSS. The original 802.11 standards are far too slow for modern networking needs and are now no longer deployed. In terms of speed, the 802.11a standard was far ahead of the original 802.0 standards. 802.11a specific a speed of up to 54 Mbps in the 5 GHz bands, but most commonly communication takes place at 6 Mbps, 12 Mbps, or 24 Mbps. 802.11a is incompatible with the 802.11b and 802.11g wireless standards. Then we see what is IEEE 80.11b. 802.11b standard provides for maximum transmission speed of 11 Mbps. So if you are seeing the some advertisement of some broadband company, we provide a speed up to 11 Mbps, then we may assume they must be using 802.11b. If message is like 6 Mbps, then we may assume okay, it may be the 802.11a. However, devices are designed to be backward compatible with previous 802.11 standard that provides for a speed of 1, 2, and 5.5 Mbps. So here what do we mean by backward compatible? So if it means if any device designed for 802.11b, then they must work with or they must compatible with 802.11a or 802.11. Simple. 802.11b uses a 2.4 GHz RF range and is compatible with 802.1g chip. So when we open our wireless hotspot, so yesterday share one pictures in your group called Cyber Security Advisors. In that you see select AP band is 2.4 gigahertz. So if also in my mobile there is an option I can select 5 gigahertz AP band also. That means if default is at 2.4 gigahertz, that means the default protocol standard my mobile hotspot is using is 802.11p. You may also open your hotspot and you may check what is your AP band that is written below your security protocols. So I am going to resend you. You may going to see again. Select AP band. Then what is IEEE 802.11g? 802.11g is popular wireless standard today. 802.11g offers wireless transmission over distance of 150 feet and a speed of up to 54 Mbps compared with 11 Mbps of 802.11b. So here is a doubt. 8011b and 80211g. both operate at 2.4 gigahertz. My mobile also show 2.4 gigahertz band. So how I can assume which one my mobile is working? So there is a one clue here. My mobile is do not support 54 Mbps speeds. It is supporting approx 11 Mbps. 11 MB if it is downloading in 1 minute. Enough. And my mobile never download more than that. So there is a chance that it may using 80 2.11p, because if the maybe the new 5G mobile may work on 802.11g, and they work on 2.4 gigahertz, and they provide the speed of 54 megabyte per second. That means in 20 seconds they can download 1 GB files. Here it takes more than 100. So there is also the latest 802.11 one. The newest of the wireless standard listed in Network Plus objective is 802.11n. The goal of the 802.11 standard is to significantly increase throughput in both the 2.4 GHz and the 5 GHz frequency ranges. The baseline goal of the standard was to reach a speed of 100 Mbps, but given the right condition, it is estimated that 802.11 speed might reach a staggering 600 Mbps. So in 1.5 seconds, it will download 1 GB. But in practical operation, 802.11 speed will be much slower, but more than the for 11G. So this is the comparison table. In exam question may come, so you should memorize it. There may be a question. Differentiate between different wireless standards. So you can first enlist wireless standard 11, 11A, 11B, 11G, 11N. Then based on frequency and mediums, you can put the frequency. 11 2.4, 11A 5, 11B 2.4, 11G 2.4, 11N both 2.4/5. Speed of 11 is 1 to 2 Mbps, up to 54 Mbps, up to 11 Mbps, up to 54 Mbps, and up to 600 Mbps. Topology of all IEEE standard is ad hoc infrastructure. So ad hoc network. Transmission range of 11 is 20 feet indoors, 11A is 25 to 75 indoors, 11B is 150 feet indoors, that is approx 50 meters. 11G is also up to 150 feet indoors, and 11N is 175 plus feet. And all ranges can be affected by building materials. So there are so many building materials that may absorb the radio waves. And all uses the same access method called CSMA-CA. And what is CSMA-CA? CSMA is a carrier sense multiple access. CA is a collision avoidance. So the next topic in today's lecture is process of authentication in wireless network. So the use of mutual authentication is important in a wireless network. This will guard against many security issues such as man-in-the-middle attack. With mutual authentication, the wireless client and the wireless network must prove their identity to each other. This process uses an authentication server such as remote authentication, dial-in user service. In short, they called radius. to perform the authentication. So in radius R is remote authentication dial in user service. So see, there is a user, there is a access point, and there is a, or maybe it may be router. So there is a one authentication server connecting with it. And there may be some file server, print server, and all. So authentication server deals with the credentials. 802.11 standard also includes shared key authentication, an optional, more advanced form of authentication. This is a four-step process. In first step, the client sends an authentication request frame. In second step, the access point responds with a frame containing a string of characters called challenge text. In third step, the client then encrypts the challenges text using the common WEP encryption key. The client sends the encrypted challenge text back to the access point. We decrypt the text using the common key and compares the results with the text originally sent. If the decrypted text matches, the access point authenticates the client. Okay, one BTech extern messaging. We are supposed to have the PCL Viva sir at 9 p.m. What happened? Due to MTech class, it postponed to 10 a.m. Message sent and then
Last time I was conducted 50 semesters.
hmm?
50 semester. I was conducted for
Yes.
50 semester. I have award sheet of 50 semester, not of first, third semester. Because yesterday was.
So just mail him. Mail them. Enjoy it.
Actually, I don't conduct the third semester students.
No one conducted, no one. So it is a Sriram sir make overlap among all this. Just take the 10-minute
No, I
presentation
will
and
take. I
mail.
will take. But
Okay.
I have no award sheet.
Just mail the marks. Also, I have now marks because he has one consolidated marks.
Okay.
So he is putting the marks. So the absent students which we are taking, we are just sending the marks, and he was updating.
Format. Award sheet format.
No any format, you know, give 50 out of everyone because there is that was just for this
You
show.
received for third semester award sheet.
Huh?
You received from
No,
Sir
no,
third
no,
year.
no. I just also I taken one and the mail him give 38 out of 50. No WhatsApp because that was just for the our purpose and the final marks 1 mark he will give to exam section. 50 out of 50 he will give. So give 50 out of any marks and close this chapter.
So today I will conduct.
Okay, yes. Yes. Station authenticate no taking a take. Station authenticate itself by encrypting a string of text within a packet using its private key. The receiving station decrypts the text with the sending station public key. If the decrypted text matches some predetermined text such as a station name, the receiving station knows that the sending station is valid. The encryption of a particular string of text in this case acts as a digital signature. So what happens? We all know private key is used for encryption and public key is used for decryption. In between, we can use digital signature in order to authenticate ourselves in place of key. or password. So now we discuss different wireless hacking methodology. The use of wireless network has increased exponentially over the last decade or so. Wi-Fi is being extensively used not only by corporate organizations but also by individual and home users. If you walk or drive through your city, you may find tons of wireless networks. The wireless hacking methodology consists of the following steps. First is discovering Wi-Fi network. Second is GPS mapping. Third is wireless traffic analysis. Fourth is execute attack. And fifth is break Wi-Fi encryption. So, discovering Wi-Fi network. This is the first step in making an attempt to compromise a Wi-Fi network. In this step, various Wi-Fi discovery tools like NetStambler, NetSurveyor, and so on are used to scan the available network within range. Once a list of Wi-Fi network is obtained, it can then be geographically visualized using maps. Wiggle is one such web-based service which accepts feed from Wi-Fi scanners and show the listed networks on map. So I have taken this snapshot from Wiggle. So Wiggle is showing in our syllabus WPA2, but there is a WPA3 also exists that is in beta version, not deployed commercially, but it is in testing. So you may see the 0.01% of the world using WPA3, but the 71.26% of this world using WPA2. 4.19% using WPA and still 4.29% using WAP because they do not change their router, they do not change their mobile phone, they are using 10-year mobiles, they are using 10 years old router. So 4.29% also using WAP. 17.63% legal unable to read what type of services they are using among both. So they have put questions mark because their search engine can't able to determine which wireless encryption standard they are using. So these are 17 point. And 2.69% are using none. So when I make a hotspot, there is an option WPA2 pre-shared key or none. If I using none, then there will be no password. So in world, more than 22 million people are using none. That means their Wi-Fi are open. Anyone can use them. Also, we can help us to accept feed from Wi-Fi scanner and it can show the listed network on map. It can create a map how many PC are connected at how many distance. One PC is connected at 4 meter apart, one is 20 feet apart, one mobile is connecting. So they will create a one map. This type of map they may create. They may show the latitudes of the mobile device, longitudes of mobile device. They will show the SSID, they will show the BSSID, they will show the data ranges. Wireless traffic analysis, third step. So first step is discovering Wi-Fi network, second is GPS mapping, then third is wireless traffic analysis. These steps involve setting up the correct hardware and software for Wi-Fi hacking. Some operating systems like Windows allow you to listen to traffic but do not permit you to inject Wi-Fi traffic, while others like Linux allow both. We can inject for or duplicate Wi-Fi traffic. Also, some important tools used in Wi-Fi hacking like earcrack work only with specific wireless adapters. So there is a limitation of earcrack It works only with a specific wireless adapters. If we will not find that specific wireless adapter, then we can't be able to crack. We can be able to do the discovering Wi-Fi networks. We can be able to GPS mapping. But here, the compatibility of adapters with earcrack comes into picture. Once the right hardware and software has been set up, tools like Wireshark can also be used to analyze wireless traffic. Then, fourth step is execute attack. Once the initial reconnaissance has been done, it is time to execute attacks on the target wireless network. And then we start attacks. One attacks maybe fragmentation attacks. So by launching a successful fragmentation attack, we can obtain up to 1500 bytes of PRG. PRG is pseudo random generation. This attack does not reveal the WEP key but just fetches the PRG. Once the PRG is obtained, it can be used to generate packets that are then used for various wireless injection attacks. Second type of attacks is MAC spooping. Many access points have MAC filtering enabled. This means only those devices whose MAC ID is in the access point's whitelist can connect to the wireless network. To bypass this, MAC address spoofing can be used to change the MAC address of wireless adapter to one of the matching the access point's MAC whitelist. So here what we can do, on router there is a list of authenticated Wi-Fi devices and they have their MAC IP address. So what we'll do, MAC spoofing, will change our IP address to MAC address to any one of the MAC address who is whitelist, who is in whitelist. Okay. Then we'll be able to access the network without authentication. So SMAP is one such tool on Windows that helps change the MAC address of network adapter. Third type of a possible attacks in wireless hacking is deauthentication attacks. This type of attack is used to forcefully disconnect users who are actively connected on the target access point. This is type of denial of service attack. Next type of attack is man in the middle attack. In this type of attack, the attacker first deauthorizes a valid active users from the access point, then forces the victim user to connect to a fake access point, and finally intercept all the data that the victim sends and receives during the session. Then the next possible type of wireless attack is evil twin attack. In this type of attack, the attacker set up an access point that pretends to be legitimate by imitating another genuine access point within the area. User connect to the wrong access point, which is exactly the twin of the original access point. Once the users are associated with the forged access point, the attacker can then intercept and tamper all network traffic passing through it. And the fifth and last step in wireless hacking methodology is breaking Wi-Fi encryption. So the next step involves finding the encryption key. That means their private key used in target wireless network. The earcrack toolset, which include tools like earmon ng, aerodump ng, ear replay ng, earcrack ng, can be effectively used to crack the encryption key. There is a one tool called Kismet. It's a powerful tool for wireless sniffing that is found in Kali distribution. It can be also downloaded from its official webpage called kismetwireless.net. Let us see how it works. First of all, open a terminal and type Kismet. It will start the Kismet server and click yes, as shown in the flowing screenshot. Then, as shown here, we click on the start button. Now Kismet will start to capture data. The flowing screenshot show how it would appear. There is another tool called Stumbler. Stumbler is another tool for wireless hacking that is primarily built for Windows system. It can be downloaded from www.stumbler.net. It is quite easy to use NetStumbler on your system. You just have to click the scanning button and wait for the result as shown in the flowing screenshot. It is important to note that your card should support monitoring mode, otherwise you will fail to monitor. It should display a screenshot as flows. WEP Crack is a popular tool to crack WEP password. It can be downloaded from sourceforce.net/project/WEP Crack. EarCrackNG is another popular tool for cracking WEP password. It can be found in Kali distribution of Linux. Deploying a screenshots of how we have sniffed a wireless network and collected packet and created a file rswawep01.cfp. Then we run it with EarCrackNG to decrypt the cipher. There is another tool called Low Orbit Ion Cannon. In short, LOIC is another tool for wireless DOS attacks. So, if there are so many attacks possible, we can also take some countermeasures. To secure a wireless network, you should keep the following points in mind. That change the SSID and the network password regularly. Change the default password of access point. Do not use WEP encryption. Turn off guest networking and update the firmware of your wireless devices. So today is 25th January, 25th Jan, and 25th Jan, lecture number 19. Johnson present. Jacob, where is Jacob? Sayed, Manita. We must see the current participant list. Okay, only three. Johnson, Sayed, Manita. Okay. So thank you so much for your precious time. And now it is time to upload your slide.
Thank you.
Thank you.